The first thing you do is smack the camera. This is one of the basics of filming, is not to abuse the equipment, because it's like a rental and you have to give it back. And you don't get your deposit back if you broke the camera. Let's adjust that again. Maybe I can... You're trying to break it again. Don't break the camera. Look, over here. It's story time. I'm going to be reading Goodnight Moon, which is it's like some kind of classic. Let's see. This classic bedtime story has lulled generations of children to sleep. That sounds kind of ominous. It's the perfect first book to share with a child. Hey, you're a child, and I'm a talking horse. How about I read this book to you, okay? Yeah, okay. Goodnight Moon by Margaret Wise Brown. Pictures by Clement Hurd. Brown and Hurd. Hey, you've heard of Brown? This is Brown and Hurd. Hey, you heard of cows? I don't think that's how that joke goes. Okay. Goodnight Moon by the same people I just said. In the great green room, there was a telephone, and a red balloon, and a picture of... A picture of what? They don't tell us. It's like a Dash. Maybe it's a picture of Dash. Like Mrs. Dash. Okay, so let's see. We got a rabbit with some stuff and a fireplace. Oh, he's got a fire burning. That seems kind of unsafe to go asleep while there's still fire. Oh well, not my house. Okay, there's a picture of a cow jumping over the moon, which in the last page was in color, and now it mysteriously has turned to black and white. And there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs. I know, they're bears with furniture. You don't see that every day. And and 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens. And a little toy house and a young mouse. It's kind of like these guys are ripping off Green Eggs and Ham, but they don't really have a plot. So there's an elephant over there. Oh, on the bookshelf, there's an elephant. You see him? I know, right? You're like, why is there a tiny elephant hiding in the books? You took the words right out of my mouth. I'm not supposed to look a gift horse in the mouth and take his words. Alright. And a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush. Seriously, he's got breakfast sitting there? And a quiet old lady who was whispering hush. Wait a minute. Hold on. Back up. Okay. No lady in the chair. Do you see that? The chair is empty. Now flip the page. And now this lady shows up and starts whispering hush. Like, did she bring the mush in here? And why is she eating that stuff? Like it's bedtime. You don't be eating mush when you're supposed to be sleeping. Seriously, this lady's weird. Oh, there she is. Okay, and I guess the narrator then says, "Goodnight, room," because I don't know who else would be speaking. Maybe it's that little rabbit in bed. He's all like, "Goodnight, room," full of stuff. Goodnight, moon, because you first have to say goodnight to all of the cosmological elements orbiting the Earth or other planets. Goodnight, cow jumping over the moon. Whoa, go cow, go. Goodnight, light and the red balloon. That's my favorite band, the Red Balloon. Goodnight, bears. I'm sorry you'll never win any football games. Goodnight, chairs and the CEO and the president. Goodnight, kittens. Goodnight, mittens. Really, we're wishing goodnight to a pair of mittens. The moon I kind of get, but the mittens? Goodnight, clocks and goodnight, socks. Anything that rhymes, no matter how ridiculous. Okay, here we go. Goodnight, little house and goodnight, mouse. Okay, the mouse I get. He's all like, "Hey, I'm calling it a day." And they're like, "All right, goodnight, mouse." Goodnight, comb and goodnight, brush. Okay, that's a stretch. When you're saying goodnight to your comb and brush, you need more friends. Am I right? It's not just me, right? I know, totally. He's saying goodnight to a brush. Like, what's it gonna do? Oh, I get it. He's a rabbit. It's a hairbrush. Do you get it? It's a pun. I know, it's terrible. All right, let's see how this thing ends. Goodnight, nobody. Okay, come on. They left the page blank and said goodnight, nobody. Like, what the crap? I don't get it, man. Goodnight, nobody. And then look, goodnight, mush, okay? Seriously, this page is the silliest page in all of children's literature. Yes, if I were you, I would also be offended. Goodnight, nobody. Goodnight, mush. It seriously says that on this page. I'm going to tear that out of his book. And goodnight to the old lady whispering hush. You know why she's saying hush? Because he's saying goodnight to everything and everyone and even nobody. The little rabbit, like, go to sleep already. Hush. You ridiculous little rodent. I know. This kid. Why is this page not turning? Come on. Goodnight stars. Okay, so, like, they found out the moon got goodnight, and they were like, hey, what about us? Like, all right, goodnight stars, goodnight air. Okay. Straining incredulity once again. Goodnight air. Look, when you go to sleep, do not say goodnight to the air. Because that's just dumb, okay? The air doesn't care. Seriously. Goodnight air. Goodnight publishers of this book. Goodnight noises everywhere. See, he's saying goodnight to noises now. This little rabbit is crazy. I don't know. I think this book has given nightmares to children for generations. What do you think? Does it make you sleepy? Or does it just confuse you with its literary devices? $8. $8 to say goodnight to nobody and the air. Alright, let's never read that again. What do you think? I think we should stick to more reasonable literature. We gotta find green eggs and ham. It's gotta be on that shelf somewhere. Okay, so good night, baby. Good night, bib. Good night, carbon dioxide molecules which you are exhaling. Right, good night to your nails that need clipping. Good night, crib. Good night, ceiling. Good night, carpeting. Good night, insurance premiums. Good night, abstract concepts such as multiplication or justice. Yeah, I know, totally. Why don't you say good night to some things that don't make any sense? Maybe you should just say good night. Okay. She's gonna take a nap now. Thank you for joining us for Storytime. I am Picasso Van Gogh saying good night, Moon.